Alright guys, so quick update. This is the day after the track. We'll go over the time slips and everything, but we did have an issue. We only got 2 passes in because we had an issue with the alternator, and I'm going to show you. Yeah, we lost the bolt here, so alternator is dangling, and obviously we weren't charging. The belt was squealing like crazy after the first pass, so I think this Moroso bracket, the way it supports the alternator in the back at high RPMs, this stretches. You know, the belt wants to, centrifugal force obviously is trying to throw the belt out, but it seems like when you rev it, it wants to lean in. So it's wanting to throw the belt. But for whatever reason, this bolt came loose and obviously caused us to have a no charging issue. And I looked all over the place on the tow truck, all through the truck, on my F-150 of a bolt I could pull out and just swap it in there for the time being. But it was dark out and it was just difficult, you know. So it was almost 8 o'clock and they closed at 9. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna load it up and bring it home. But anyway, I've ordered another alternator bracket that supports the alternator from the front and not, it doesn't bolt to the back here, so you got way less, excuse me, getting up off the ground. The bracket that I'm getting will attach to the front here, and then is also supported off the 2 of these, the timing cover. So it's going to be supported in 3 spots on the front and not on the back. So that should not, that should give us little to no flex on the front. But this is second time I've had issues with this wanting to flex. Only at high RPM. Drive around the street, it's fine. But you know, we're revving this thing up to almost 7,000 RPMs now, and I think it at that speed, it's bending in, and then this thing wants to move forward and pop out of the groove. But last night it looked like we had whatever reason the bolt came out of the bracket there, and we lost our charging. So anyway, that's that. I will post. We got 2 runs in, and here's the time slips. I guess we can go ahead and do that while I'm standing here. We are car 220 on the time slips here, so we'll go over these 2. And it was actually warmer than I thought it was going to be last night. Thought it was going to be in the 80s, but it turned out it was in the 90s. Nonetheless, so we made 2 passes. Car slowed down a little bit. Let me see which one was the first pass. That was 629, 552. Here's the first pass, and then 629. These are some older ones that were in the car from August. So first pass off the trailer, we added 2 degrees timing, and the tire pressure was at 10.5 pounds, 2 pounds lower than I normally like it, but it got the 60 foot back down in the 1.5s. The best this car's ever 60 footed is 1.51. So 1.57 is much better there, and a 720 in the 8th, 98, 1128 at just about 125, so a couple miles an hour off there, and from our best. Last couple passes was, and again, this is a new engine. We're breaking in this new block, so the block, when it cracked, that was when it was, the other block that cracked was when we ran the 128 and 127 mile per hour on the 11.1s, 11.1 and 11.2 passes. So so nonetheless, I had added 2 degrees timing in this, and 10.5 pounds of pressure in the Hoosiers. So I bumped them up to 13 pounds, and it went 164. But I didn't get a good burnout on this second pass either. And again, 11.27, 11.28. So time's very similar, but even with the more air pressure, it seemed to slow down a little bit. 123.45, but it seemed more stable. You know, the car didn't feel like it was bouncing around as much. This past car felt like it was all over the place, and it seemed like every gear change it hopped a little bit. So I'm not sure if that was the tire pressure, but anyway, that's a 162 60-foot, but terrible burnout on this one, and you'll see in the video on the second one. I had not, I didn't have enough vacuum in the power booster, so I thought I had, I didn't have the line lock set really hard, so it just pushed through the line lock, and I went up to the line. I said, screw it, I wasn't going to back up and hold everybody up. I said, let's just run it, because I planned on making way more passes than this. But after that, they were taking a break to run the bracket racing, so it was really hot. I decided to let the car cool down. I was going to put the 2 degrees back in, take the 2 degrees out for the third pass, but then the car wouldn't start because the battery was too low. So that's when I was looking under the hood, and I saw the bracket was hanging down there with no bolt on it. It's like, so anyway, got a replacement bolt today at Ace Hardware. It was 50 cents for the nut in the bolt, and it's a locking bolt, so we can get it put back together. But nonetheless, yeah, 50-cent bolt ended our night. So we've got next Wednesday is another streetcar night. That's the inexpensive night to go up there. These are what they call the Wednesday night drags. And then after that, there's looks like, I checked the schedule this morning, there's 2 test and tunes on Saturday afternoons in November, and there's 3 in December. So we have 6 opportunities still to get our 10-second time slip this year. So that is the update, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit this in with the two runs. And again, the main differences between these passes is first pass was 10.5 pounds of air pressure, and the second pass was 13 pounds of air pressure. Both of these I added 2 degrees timing on it, so I don't know if that's why it slowed down a little bit, or if literally I've taken this car since I built the engine. I took it around the block 1 time, and it's made 2 passes at the strip to break it in. So that's you know, it's still got the break-in oil, it's still got the assembly lube in it, it's still got, you know, it's got a zinc additive. So I'm going to change the oil before next week and try again, and maybe the engine's broken in a little better, and we can go, I mean, if we can get back up to the 128 or 127 even, that would be, and combine that with a better 60-foot, we'll be on to something. So that is the update, and here are the 2 passes, and I'll have some commentary. They're kind of long in the staging lanes and whatnot, but I'll just be talking in the camera, letting you know what's going on. So this may be a little bit longer video, well, a lot longer video than I normally make. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Alright guys, we're in the staging lanes just to do some fun runs. I'm not sure who they're calling next, but so we're going to try a 5,000 RPM launch. Let's see. See where we're set at. Oh no, that's wrong. Damn it. Come on. Okay. Okay, 5,000 RPM launch. Got the car warmed up pretty much. I might be in the wrong lanes. So we'll start a data log. Oh, and the only other thing I did, I advanced the timing 2 degrees. I got a recommendation from Ben Alameda. He thought the timing at the top end was set at like 32 degrees. He thought that might be a little low, so to go ahead and bump 2 degrees into it. .727. Let's see, you guys can see what I can see. So 157 in the 60, 727 in the 8th at 98.4, 1128 at 124.7. So we can do better than that. We're gonna get our stuff together and maybe let the sun go down a minute. All right, guys, first pass on the new setup. I've still got break-in oil and everything in this too, so we will she might do better with some different oil, but anyway, let's I don't know if it could take any more on the launch. We'll maybe go up another 100 RPM on the launch for the next one and go from there. All right, guys, we're up for our second pass. I put some air in the back tires. That last pass, air was only at 10.5 pounds, so that's a little low. I took it up to 13.5. We're gonna try. I'm not gonna change the launch RPM. We're gonna run it the same. Alright guys, a little bit slower. You can see the slip here. I'm car 220. 162 in the 60. Of course, I had a worse burnout that time. Let's see, 8th was 722 at a 98.2, and then 1127 at 123.4. So, right? Yeah. Shit, the guy next to me went 128, but he had a terrible 60. Let's see what the other 220. Let's see, side by side, 157 to a 162. So half a tenth there. But I picked up in the 8th. So 98.2 in the 8th versus 98.4. So it looks like it picked up mid-track. 1,000 feet, 943 versus a 947. So I picked up there. 1127. These were both in the right lane at 123.4. So it lost over a mile an hour. So, and that was with raising the of course the burnout wasn't as good for whatever reason. I didn't set the line lock very well, so it kind of pushed through the line lock. But we'll let it cool down a little bit, go try it again. The engine coolant temps were at 188, so not real hot, but we'll let it sit. We'll take a break, cool off, maybe go up to the snack bar for a minute. They're going to take a break here in like 10 minutes, so I think we'll do the same. I'm not going to try to get another hot lap in. All right guys, we'll keep trying. I don't know.